Hey guys, and welcome back to Trekyards. He's Commander
He's
Calkins.
got a Foley.
And what are we looking at today, Sam? Something exciting and cool, I'm sure.
Well, what's faster than Excelsior?
Warp speed.
An Excelsior with four nacelles, because that must be
Wow.
faster. Yes, welcome back to the Kitbash show, where we take classic famous designs and we do a little bit of change. We've had some weird and wonderful, some Stuart love, some Stuart. Moving on. In this show, so go back and look. Today we're looking at two Excelsior variants. Simple changes. Let's see if they are better, worse, or if they missed a trick. So just to remind us all, this is a classic Excelsior that we know and some of us love. Classic, right? But as I'm sure a lot of you said when you looked at this in Star Trek 3, it could do with four-nacelles. I'm sure that was yelled out in the cinema, four-nacelle! And we never got it. Did you ever think that, Stuart?
I did not, no.
Well, there we go. Let's bring in the four-nacelle magic. All
Mm.
I've done, of course, is just take the mirror. That's all I've done. But you know what? That might be enough. What do you think, Stuart?
It looks good. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all. It just something about this view. It looks a little, I don't want to say misproportioned. It looks odd. Like imbalanced, I guess is the right word. The other views might change my mind, but overall, this is an interesting idea, and I think it works fairly well, honestly.
Yeah, Miss Bounce is certainly the right way of framing it, because now there's kind of, not literally, but it feels there's too much weight pulling it down. Like there's too much on the pylon. It doesn't work that way, but that's how vaguely my brain interprets. Plus, if I was doing this, fully in depth, it's not a kitbash, it's a fresh design. I would do different pylons. I wouldn't just, they feel lack of detail for how much stuff is going on, etc., etc. And, for whatever reason, now this highlights how boring the bottom of the cells in the cells are. I don't know why. I guess it just draws your eye so much more that it kind of stands out more. So I would have done some sort of bottom detail, but that's.
Yeah, I got to see the other images of this to really make a assessment. But one thing I would do, as you know, with when I have multiple
Push them
nacelles like this,
back!
I'd push the lower ones back or maybe even forward. It depends on how the profile would look, just to kind of stagger it a bit.
But I think it's an example of more is not better. I think it's lost something
Mm-hmm.
by adding something, right?
Yeah,
But not bad. And certainly if this was out in the distance in a TNG graveyard shot, you'd be like, oh yeah, obviously. Right? There wouldn't be much, whatever. But yes, let's look orthographically because the sins or the benefits can be seen. Well, bam, there you go. I mean, that top view really holds up.
yeah, yes, it does. Front view is great, honestly, and the side view also looks really good. The only thing I would do is stagger those nacelles and put the lower ones longer,
Which is
like
funny you always say
back
that because there's
further.
no ship that does that in Trek.
Well, the dreadnoughts do because they have the middle nacelles always
Four-nacelle
like
dreadnoughts?
no three nacelle. I'm just saying, anytime you got more than two nacelles, they should have one be or one or two be staggered. Because I love the profile of the dreadnought, always have, but that's because the nacelles aren't all lined up.
Well, that'd work for a three-nacelle version of this, but like I say, four-nacelles are always the same. Would this work better, actually, then? Not better, this is a side comment. But if you then just did the bottom nacelles and one in the middle, which you can kind of see from the side view, that'd be better?
Yeah, that would be really cool, actually. I would really like that.
But back to this. Yeah, the front view for me feels too busy. Doesn't help the
A little
Excelsior
bit.
secondary. It's already a bit chunky, but that already misbalances, but it's when you're looking at the ship from the direct front, right? I think the side works surprisingly well, actually. I didn't do much to modify the framing, but the fact that it highlights all the details rather than obscuring them kind of works, and even the flow of the secondary hull kind of goes in to the. It works decently. I think you should tweak themselves a bit more than not, but it works surprisingly well.
And I mean, you say that there's no four nacelles that have staggered, but there is, like the Europa class and Discovery.
Well,
Those are staggered. There are a
I,
few
I mean, if
in
we're
lore
adding
that
Discovery, then all the rules throw out, of course, because they just did. You are right, but that's do a bottom of the saucered bridge because the Shinjo.
No, I mean this looks good. It hides the cutout on the secondary hull, but the only thing I would change is I would move those lower ones just back further a little bit. I think that would really give a good look. But
I think this would benefit from a smaller secondary hull. I think it now has a certain oomph to it that's leaking out the secondary hull. Almost make it a new, not just make it smaller, making a slightly different design to make it sleeker, as if this is meant to be the quick response, really, really fast version. I don't know, doubling up on the nacelle just kind of does that for me. I don't know. But fair to say, one of our more neutral changes. It's not good. It's not bad. It's right.
Yeah, it'd be interesting instead of the bottom struts going out and down, you just go straight out and have like the nacelle mounted kind of where the other strut goes up, because that would change the front view quite drastically, and I think it would actually beef it up and make it look a lot more impressive as well. I don't know. It still looks unbalanced on the front view. Side view not so much. Side view looks pretty good, so I cannot complain
But I
about
don't
that.
even think bringing in the pylons that's close to the hull would work. You'd need to have some rethinking of it, which of course is what you do for a proper design, right? Like, it'd be interesting to give John Eve someone like that. Just say, we need a Four-nacelle Excelsior, keep the design as original, but balance out the pylons and nacelle placements to work aesthetically, and like how we'd try the variations, but not change design. Just rebalance it. All right, are you ready for an entirely different balance? Because boy, I'm gonna show you a. Are you ready, Stuart?
Sure. Yeah.
As you remember, the Excelsior class classic. You remember the nacelles, the pylons, the secondary hull, the neck, the saucer. Well, what if you had always said, as a Trek fan, what if the Excelsior needs to be more compressed and neat? Here you go. Compressed and neat. What have I done? I've killed the neck.
Yeah.
Because the neck was always quite big.
This reminds me of so many different designs that I've seen. Kind of like the movie era Nova class almost, only bigger. It's kind of got that.
Okay.
There's no neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ah.
But again, this view doesn't really tell the whole story, so it'll be interesting to see the orthos on this. But I don't hate it.
Well, I've also pulled it back to kind of balance. So it's that's why it's not just no neck, it's kind of being compressed to be balanced with its compression. Like, it does just feel like it's missing some stuff. I know I've got no registry here, that doesn't help. But now in my brain, I want to see some additive functional detail in one of these two zones. That's also, or the secondary hull, just kind of give it something. Because you're losing something real while not gaining anything, right?
Yeah, you'd have to add like standard photon torpedo tubes above the deflector there, or put the cargo holds that are in the neck back in there, something, because I think it's missing something there. It's also missing the lower planetary sensor dome, because you've like parked it on there. I think that's one of the visual things that's really throwing it off. So
yeah, they've cut. Well, me past me has just is compressed good. Does it feel weedy? I guess is what I'm thinking. Has it lost a vavavoom too much?
I think so, yeah. Especially from this view in particular. But again, it'll be interesting to see how the orthos look, because yeah, something about it just doesn't feel right. I mean, just you're so used to that big, weirdly, like the neck doesn't seem to fit on this ship because it doesn't match the hull color. It doesn't.
But that's part of the charm.
Yes.
Yeah, this is one where you desperately need a redesigned front of the secondary hull to balance it through things and bobs, right? But then your questions will all be answered now with all the graphics, which everything does look different, so we can say that in this version.
Ooh. I like the side. I like that very squat, like beefy looking stance.
It's kind of like the Enterprise E of this fleet, because that's what I've kind of done. I've taken away the neck and I've given it the E treatment.
You made it all sovereign-y. Captain Freeman wouldn't like it. The front honestly doesn't feel much different from just the regular Excelsior. It's and it's weird because you're missing the neck, right?
Yeah, what I've done as well is I've lowered the nacelles down, so they're just going in. The part is going into the nacelle now, just to kind of balance it around what it should be. So that's why it doesn't feel as off, even though obviously it is substantially off. But it all kind of blends together.
Because if you would have left them long, I think it would have looked very odd.
Yeah, they'd be like, yeah, Which I'm sure I did. And it's like, nope, not doing that.
Yeah, I think that's why the front looks so just regular Excelsior because of where the nacelles are.
Well, it's like an optical illusion, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that side is nice, but weird, but potential. Having that really front heavy ship, but then all the back details kind of balance it out.
It's one of those ships that from the side looks fast standing still because
Yeah.
it's got that sleek profile,
Uh-huh.
right? The top, like, this reminds me of so many other little ships that I've seen either designed by fans or just in games and stuff that are just smaller scout class ships, and it honestly works. I mean, the top maybe could have pulled the nacelles back a tad on the pylons just so they weren't overlapping the saucer, but from the side that doesn't bother me. From the
Well, it
top it kind of
blends really
bothers
well
me.
with the side.
Yeah.
It's on the top that it kind of feels different. And if you had done that, then the nacelles would be really far back, and that would look silly as well. If anything, you
They would
could
have to
have
move
pulled
them
them.
that far back.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't have been much, but it might have been enough. Whereas you could have pushed them forward a bit. Like if you de-stretched the secondary hull a little bit to the back and pull the nacelles forward and give it more of the NX Intrepid vibe, which I know you don't like, but that would have made it even more compressed and neat. This keeps the elongated look, which makes it feel sleek, but you could have made it even more compressed.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that because I don't if you pull the nacelles forward, I don't like that look where they oversit the saucer like the Intrepid. So now overall, this is a pretty successful design. A little tweaking here and there, and I think you'd have like another good ship for the fleet.
Because it's tricky, because that side view is the best view, notably, but you're missing the lower sensor dome, the things that are functional that are there for a reason, right? But you wouldn't want to cut the angle of like I've done the research. If you push this sort of saucer forward, it looks too stringy, right? This is kind of a good vibe of it. Like the curve of the secondary hull kind of almost lines up with the curve of the impulse, like that, right? It all kind of goes together. But you wouldn't want to change the front of the secondary hull curve to add a sensor dome because then it would be very stubby. It needs that kind of big graceful. So I mean you could almost if this was say a post TNG, we need to refit a ship, bring it back in using old parts. I can see them adding the Enterprise E style torpedo pod to the front, the extension pod, but have that sensor planetary dome in that and not the captain's yacht, be a torpedo and sensor dome, and so it's kind of hanging down because they would fit. It's not in this design language, but you could add that and I think it'd be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How would this benefit or not, do you think, from swept back nacelles? Pardon, sorry.
Well, I think that would be amazing. Actually, I think that would work very very well. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see because the struts look a little odd from the top compared to with everything else, which is weird because you don't have more of the secondary hull of view from the top, so you don't have as many like quote unquote straight lines. So everything seems very rounded and curved and like designed, and the struts just seem like sticks.
Bulky sticks.
Yeah. So if they're
Yeah.
swept back, I think it would really actually add to the look quite drastically. Yeah. Do you guys like it? If you do, comment down below. That's what the comment section is for. Make sure you hit the like button. We're gonna make a lot more of these shows where we take your favorite ships and make them maybe not your favorite or more your favorite. I don't know. So comment, let us know, and make sure that you join us for all those edited contents as well as lives.
And I've already I don't know if you were as well, but I was sent a version of one of our ships in a previous episode, like rebuilt by them, by a fan, because they liked our idea. Can't remember which one, but it was like, oh, that was cool. To kind of prove that A, they could do it better than us, which is fair. Kitbash versus whatever. I was like, that's really nice. So if these have inspired you to kind of go in and do your own thing, because I mean, when we started Trekyards, the idea that you could create a show where you see new design styles, but keeping it looking, it's not just a sketch, it's ready to go sort of design. Yeah, this would be inspiring to me when I was starting Trekyards, etc. So if it inspires you, then you want to give back to us, what we do here, then you can via Patreon. It's a monthly service that helps creators like us do everything we do, or join the channel on Patreon. No, on join the channel. Says in the name, join the channel on YouTube. And thing again, each month makes a huge difference. Or one-time supports via the PayPal, trekyards@hotmail.com, or super chatting during our live. I mean, you know super chats from YouTube. You know them, you love them. We know them, we love them, and they keep the wheels turning over at Trekyards. Or super thanks if you're a particular fan of a video like this one. Super thanks, and thank you for your super thanks.
Yes, what he said. Until next time, guys. He's Commander Hawkins.
He's got a Foley. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.